Alright, hello fun and welcome back to my Fallout 4 Mod Spotlight series, where today we are having a look at the Malyuk mod, which is being made by user FX0X01. And what this glorious little piece of work looks to add into the game is a fully customizable Vulcan-M Malyuk bullpup, which is just a wonderful gun I've very much been enjoying my time with, despite it being a very modern weapon. Starting production back in 2015. And you guys know me, typically I do not like at all modern guns in Fallout. It's a personal thing, but I just don't like the aesthetic of modern weaponry in the Fallout universe. I don't think it matches personally. But my one exception to that is bullpups, because dear God, I love bullpups. And this is a fun one, based off of course, the AK, as well as everything that the Ukrainians learned during their Vepr prototype that they made in the early 2000s, which I always find amusing that that one was made by their National Space Agency. I don't know why, but that just amuses me. And yeah, it's just a fun weapon that I've very much enjoyed my time with here in game. So let's jump on over here and take a look at what exactly we are getting with here in the Commonwealth with the Vulcan-M Malyuk, which in its most basic and standard of forms will do 30 damage with a 5.56 round, with a firing rate of 59, range of 119, accuracy of 75, and a weight of 6.5. Not too bad at all there. And as you can see, it is a gorgeous looking gun. Oh, I really do love the look and design of this particular bullpup. It's just nice. I really do love it. I wish I had one, but that'll probably never happen. Very good looking. It certainly does look the part for all the pictures of Malyuks I've seen in the past. And there is also an alternate body design, I guess you could say, for the sort of forward bit of the gun, which you will show off in a little bit with the modifications, of which you can see there are quite a few. We've got a lot of categories and a lot of things in said categories, especially the sights. Oh my God, there are so many sights. It's great. And you'll be able to change up your various stats. There's a few things that'll affect some aesthetics, but overall, it's not going to be anything too crazy for this gun. You're never going to be, you know, adding in like explosive rounds or radioactive rounds or anything like that. It's going to be a typical modified modern gun. That's what you're going to end up with, but still a fun one that will last you, I'd say, solidly into the mid to early late game with the damage it can produce, especially when you do take into account various perks as well. But overall, though, still just a good-looking weapon that I very much like. So how do you get your hands on it here in the game? Well, it's pretty simple. In the standard download for this gun, you're not going to find it on enemies. Starting at level 20, though, you will be able to craft it at any chemistry station in the world. You just simply have to go on down to the weapons category here and Malyuk, where you can make your own Vulcan-M Malyuk for just some simple adhesive aluminum gears, plastic, spring, and steel. And of course, rank 2 in gun nut, which by the time you reach level 20, you probably got that. And the one interesting thing here with this is typically when you build a gun from the chemistry station, it's always the same, you know, the like bog standard basic version. This one randomizes the modifications every time. Nothing too crazy from what I noticed, because I built all the guns that are back there on our, you know, display stands, and none of them were too crazily modified. Just like one or two things changed here and there, but still kind of strange. But nonetheless, you'll be able to build it. Now, there is also an optional file that you can download, which will add this into the leveled loot list, and it'll begin spawning in the world on various enemies and such at level 28, which is intriguing, so you can build it at level 20. The world, though, doesn't get it for 8 more levels. A little strange, but oh well. But yes, those are your sort of options there. Now let's head on over to the modifications and to our weapon workbench. And starting with our receiver category here, where we've got the pretty typical stuff of standard light frame, heavy frame, calibrated, tactical, calibrated, etc. And you've got a lot of them in both either semi-automatic or, of course, automatic. And this is where you get into that different body casing that I was mentioning earlier that I'd say would be a bit sleeker in design. You can see here on this one, it's of course a bit chunkier, larger. This one much more in line and sleek with the gun. And of course a lot more holes. Intriguing. But yes, quite interesting that you do have that, and it seems to be not on all the automatics, but most of the automatic receivers, which is intriguing. But yes, a nice little bit of extra aesthetic to the weapon, which is always appreciated. Now in the barrel category, none of them actually seem to change the aesthetic of the gun, but we have a standard, long-ported, and long-ported, so they will change stats, but not looks. Now in the stock category, we've got a standard, full, marksman, and then recoil compensating. In the mag category, we've got a P-mag and plum mag with alternate versions of them, quick eject versions of them, and also an extended plum mag, which is very nice to see. Now, then in the sights category, I'm not going to go through them all because there are a lot. But yes, we have a whole ton of sights, of different reflex sights, hollow sights, and ACOGs even here. Very nice to see this sort of selection. I always do enjoy a good list of sights. It's very good. Now, then in the muzzle category, we've got a standard muzzle here, and then a number of different compensators for you to use. A Surefire Troy VP09 Bulltech Hera PWS, and then 2 different kinds of suppressors, which is pretty cool. And then we have our rails. We've got a right, upper, and lower rail. By default, they have none, but in the right rail, we can have a flashlight in here or lasers on here as well, or just a simple rail. Normally, there's actually nothing over there with the none, or you could put a rail on, and it'll also put a rail on if you have any of these attachments. And then in the upper rail, we just have the option of either nothing or a laser sight. And then in the lower rail, we've got either nothing, a rail, or a vertical grip. So there you go. Kind of just changing up the aesthetics, but also, you know, adding in some nice look to it, which is very cool. And finally, we have a damage modifier, which we haven't actually seen on a gun in a while. We only go up to plus 40, so it's not going to change the gun too much. But the one thing I do wish in here is that there was some requirements for it. Otherwise, I feel like a damage modifier is a little bit cheaty. But with this, it will help last you a bit longer into the game, plus any additional perks you are using. Now, with that all out of the way, let me go grab my modified versions, and let's see how this thing shoots. I made a nice fully automatic one here, and a semi-auto stealth version right here. Very nice. And yeah, start of course with the short Vulcan, our standard one here, doing 30 damage. And fire. And there we are, a full 30 rounds out of the magazine. Very good and easy to control on this gun. There's not a whole lot of kick, and on semi-automatic, we can still fire this thing pretty darn quickly. Not as fast, of course, as the automatic, but still, basically every time you pull the trigger as fast as you can click that mouse, it's basically shooting, which is not too shabby at all. Good solid reload animation there. Always do gotta enjoy that with the bullpup ones. And yeah, just overall, a very nice, smooth firing weapon. Very easy to control and keep on target. Now, if we go over to, let's actually go to the suppressed version first, which was the highest amount of damage with the, I was able to achieve, including the damage modifier. So we got it up to 64 there. And yeah, with the nice, sleeker sort of body on it, and of course, a suppressor. And, oh, whoops, I forgot to actually select it. There we go. And with a nice ACOG to fire. Yeah, I barely compensated with my mouse on that one. That is how accurate and well on target you can keep this thing. I'm barely compensating. I'm moving my mouse down just ever so slightly every couple of shots, pretty much. But yeah, that's a really, really easy to keep on target gun, even for someone like me who's generally a god-awful shot in video games. But yeah, very nice indeed. So let's go to the fully automatic one here, which was also the highest damage I could get for fully automatic at 46. Of course, as usual, without any additional perks. And we do have the extended plum magazine there. So yeah, let's see how this one does. And fire. Oh yeah. And again, I barely moved the mouse to compensate for that one. So if I just pull the trigger without any compensation, yeah, that's all we moved. We went from the center of target to the bottom of the awning there. That's that's it. That is how easy to control this gun is, which is magnificent, especially with fully automatic, because normally you're all over the place with this thing. Oh, it just keeps it right on target there, so you can put all that lead downrange on your enemies. Which, on that note, time to spawn our usual friend of the Death Claw, which I think I may melt pretty quickly with the fully automatic here, but let's find out. So, there we go. There's our buddy. And oh, I got him most of the way down. I probably could have killed him in one magazine had I not missed probably a third of my shots as he was moving. But, yeah, that's pretty easy to take down. Let's get the semi-automatic out and spawn another in. There we go. And run! Hello, Deathclaw! Ooh. Alright. Getting some good shots on him, even when he's moving, surprisingly for me. And again, got him most of the way down on one magazine. Probably could have killed him with one, had I not missed a handful of those shots. But yeah, not bad at all. It's just such an easy to control gun, has decent damage on it. Again, with perks you could get it even higher, and it's just overall fun and entertaining to play around with, and a great bullpup to add into the game, because hey, any bullpup is a great bullpup to add into the game in my opinion, because they're just wonderful weapons. But if you'd like to check this gun out for yourself, which I would certainly recommend you go and do, you have a look at the link in the description of the video as per usual. But that, my friends, is going to be it for this one today. So hopefully you all have enjoyed, and you do come back for whatever mod we look at next. But until that time, thank you for watching as always. Well, have a good one.